Hello Barmy Badger Army and welcome to Worse Than Death Digital Comic Issue 2 Review. Now obviously I'm a big fan of Benjaminrivers, big fan of all his work, and I thoroughly enjoyed Issue 1. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Issue 2. We're a few weeks behind on this. It came out I think just before Halloween, but I was only just able to get it the other day, and I am very happy with it in some ways, but also a little bit disappointed in others. There's a few bits and pieces that I think that he critiqued too much. Apparently he had already written the second issue once and then had to redo it. Now, I think the pacing of the first one was a bit long, yes, but you got a lot of bang for your buck and you got a lot of character development, which is fantastic for a first issue. Now, what I'm going to explain to you where I think he went teeny bit wrong is the pacing was too quick in the second issue. I think they went from one extreme to the other. There was no gradual development. You know, there was lots of scenes in the first one that built up tension, lots of scenes that built up the surprise ending. I'm not going to spoil it because I want you to go to Benjamin's site and pick up Worse Than Death issue 1 and 2. But now this is where I'm getting to. So the pacing might have been slow in the first issue, but the second issue, I thought the pacing was too quick, and that was detrimental to it in some ways. Now, what they could have done is slow burn, which they did with the first issue, and then what they needed to do was ease us into a faster pace. But it went bang, 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 which, you know, isn't a bad thing. But I just think the pacing was slightly off. There needs to be a middle ground. And I want to know, and I want to see what he cut out. Because for me, I want to read those extra scenes that were cut out. I want to have a look at those. So Benjamin, if you're watching this, please, if you do a bonus issue or something like that, I want to see some uncut scenes, some raw footage, some interesting things that are in there, because I know that you've put a lot of detail in. Please just try and find the balance of where it's fast-paced and lots of chat as well, because I love the story development, really thought it was fantastic, really love the artwork, really love the captions, really love all the chat. Really love the fact that you're using real life locations from Canada, real life places, real restaurants. And I think that's important now with all what's going on in the world with COVID and all these different things. I think seeing that is fantastic, and it makes you think, oh yeah, I love restaurants, and you're going to want to go back when everything reopens. So for me, it's reminiscent of interesting times, and it's reminiscent of me. I'm a big fan of coffee shops and restaurants and things like that, and I love the bars and hearing chatter. And I love the fact that you get that from the comic. And I think that's a great thing. And I also like the fact that you get horror elements, you get real life elements, and you get some interesting character development, and there's lots of different things. And I love the fact that all the artwork's done by them and all the sorts of different things. And I love the fact that this has been a small indie video game, and it's become really interesting. It's popular, it's on most consoles. I really love it. So I haven't really got a negative word to say about this issue apart from the pacing errors, and I really hope that they find a nice middle ground with this, because it is well worth it. It's really fun, and I do recommend it. You know, it's cheap as chips on Gumroad and Comixology or whatever it's called. So please do get these issues. I think they're fantastic, a really interesting read. But for me, the pacing was a teeny bit off in the second issue. But I love the fact that we had an editor's note, and I love the fact that there was lots of information at the back telling us all about it. And I'm really hyped for some sort of physical edition. And you know what? I really hope that they do a home comic soon as well, because that would really, really, really please me. You know, and I'm hoping that they find a way to bleed these two universes together. You know, a Benjaminrivers universe would be fantastic, how they could all interact with each other. And that's what I'm really hoping for. I really am hoping for, that they manage to do that. And on another note, for a side note for this fantastic issue of Worse Than Death, I was very much getting Lock and Key vibes. So I don't know if you've seen the series Lock and Key on Netflix, but I really recommend it. And I was getting lots of Lock and Key vibes from this issue and the previous one. So I think that's going to be great, and I really want to see what happens next in the story. I'm really drawn in, and I'm really excited to read it. So here's hoping issue 3 comes out soon, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. So if you guys are watching and you've read Worse Than Death issue 1 and 2, let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me that the pacing was a tiny bit off and needs to be tweaked a little bit? Because it's gone from 100 to, you know, sort of a 50 style pace? Or has it gone the other way around? It's gone from a, you know, sort of a 15, 20, and then it's been ramped up. What do you think? Do you agree with me? What do you think? I'd love to hear what you think. Do you think the pacing was correct? Do you think it needed to be edited slightly? Or do you think, you know, it needs a bit of a change up? I think it'd be interesting if you have one fast issue, one slow issue, one fast, one slow, and then you get like a build up and some different bits and pieces happening towards it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. And thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye! Don't forget to pick up issues 1 and 2 of Worse Than Death at your local digital comic provider, such as Gumroad and, of course, Comixology. Fantastic. Right, thanks for watching, and I cannot praise Benjamin enough. I've spent hours playing Home and Worse Than Death, and they are 2 of my favourite horror games of all time. So thank you very much for that, and please do check those out on the PlayStation Store or where other good games are provided. Thanks very much. Bye.